Hey, it's Cabel, the Profitable Personal Trainer here, and I want to share with you some more important business tips today, and specifically about developing a scheduled marketing plan. So one of the things that I always found as a fitness professional, even though I had kind of a proficiency for marketing or really enjoyed it or always maybe just had some stupid harebrained idea to attract new clients, what I found is that, and I find with many of my coaching clients, is that we make a lot of emotional decisions when it comes to marketing. You know, we tend to leave things to the last minute to figuring out what promotion to run next and how to run it, and ultimately end up repeating a lot of the same mistakes that prevent us from having a truly great business. If you haven't, off topic, but if you haven't read it, one of my favorite books out there is certainly Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, and that was one of the things that stood out to me in that book was the analytical, systematic nature of a company that goes from good to great, and how by having these repeat systems that allow you to eliminate problems once and for all and not making the same problems will have a dramatic impact in growth and functionality of your business. But anyways, around the fitness training world, I'm definitely known for building systems into my business. And like many of us, I constantly have a goal to ensure that my facility can run as much without me as possible, as really that's the name of the game, I think, in developing an amazing lifestyle. So today we're going to talk about marketing, simply because from a systematic standpoint, it was one of the areas that I found the most difficult to systemize for some reason, or took me the longest. So I'm going to assume that that's true of most of you. And in fact, I'd like you to pull out a piece of paper and a pen right now, and by the end of this video, you can have a really good sense of developing your marketing calendar and your marketing system. So the very first thing is just simply create a calendar. Now, in my business, I can look back each year and look at what we did for different promotions each time now, and have all of that data to build a calendar for next year to know what some of my most important things are. But the truth is, I started in the same place that I'm going to tell you to start right now, which is just consider major dates. So for instance, write down January 1st, because we know that New Year's is like the most popular time on the planet in the fitness industry. Most of us, particularly here in the northern hemisphere, where summer starts in May, June, know that in kind of April and May, we have a lot of people that are thinking, oh crap, I got to get in shape for summer. So there's a surgence of people in April and May, which make this an opportune time to promote. When it comes to September and back to school, kids are going back to school, parents are getting into normal routines and lifestyles, and again, another very opportune time to grow your business and get busier. Beyond that, consider special dates. You know, what is the anniversary date of your business? What is your wedding or marriage or relationship anniversary? When is your birthday? And pick a couple of goofy dates, like what is your dog's birthday, or what is your favorite celebrity's birthday, and use those as promotional dates. The number one thing is that as consumers and really as people, we just want a reason to buy. Okay, and we don't want that reason to be, here's another sale, here's another offer, here's another thing or opportunity or whatever to get. What we want is the goofy reason that says, you know what, I appreciate you, and just because it's Easter, we're going to do this offer and give you this deal to save. People are more susceptible these days to accept offers that include that alternate reason to what they normally face as a consumer. But anyway, that's a different topic altogether. When it comes to planning each campaign, we just simply need to know what the offer is and how you're going to present that offer. Is it going to be a Facebook offer? Is it going to be an email offer? Are they going to be streamed together? So knowing what the offer is and the medium by which it's going to be communicated. So the key is to try to have these things prepared to go in advance as possible. If you're doing a direct mail campaign, you know, try to have that flyer finished and finalized, you know, a minimum of 6 weeks before it hits the mail, so that you still have time to make changes if need be, or it becomes a non-emotional decision and just part of your calendar as to how it's implemented. Next, most important is, even if you're a one-man show, write out the set of instructions as to how the offer is going to be processed. Okay, because the goal is to not be a one-man show, to eventually have somebody to do these things for you. So you want to have that instruction manual for each promotion that says, you know, here's how it's going to be redeemed. Here's the documents that need to be filled out. Here's the order by which they need to be filled out. Here's how it needs to be processed in your client management system if you use one, or how it needs to be processed in the web terminal for your merchant services if you have some. And if you don't, you should watch some of the other videos in this channel to learn about EFT and different billing situations. These are all things that you need to develop. This last one, however, in my opinion, is probably the most important, and I call them simply the oh shit circumstances. Okay, so there's always going to be times in every promotion where you're met with challenges or objections or problems from your prospect or customer that you didn't expect. So try to dream up all the stupid things that can go wrong and try to identify some solutions for each. For instance, perhaps a client comes in with the offer in hand and then also a gift card, and maybe you had forgotten about the gift cards being out there or didn't necessarily intend to apply them. How would you resolve that situation with the customer to meet or exceed their expectations? How are you going to, and this would probably be the most common one, is when you're running an aggressive promotion to attract new clients, what if one of your current clients takes offense to the situation or would like to access the same offer? Do you have a means by which your current clients can access this offer? And if not, how are you going to ensure that they feel valued and appreciated when you're running something aggressive and new to attract new clients? It seems crazy, but I mean, I've learned the hard way by making these mistakes. So now I try to always dream up these solutions to have a strategy to deal with it before it ever happens. So if you recorded the dates that we were talking about in the video, you can start filling in those dates with different offers that you might think would be a good fit for that time period. It doesn't matter where they are or aren't right now, but it gives you a calendar, a schedule, and a plan. And as you begin to execute that plan, you'll modify and improve each section of the plan so that it becomes much more efficient and much more successful as time goes on. These instructions will be absolutely invaluable. But before I close, there's one last thing I wanted to ask you, because it's something I've been thinking about a lot recently. Do you know the cost of customer acquisition? How much does it cost you to get a new customer? Now, don't confuse that with the last promotion that you ran and knowing that you got so many responses for X number of $100. Sure, that identifies the cost of customer acquisition in that particular promotion, which actually I guess is still quite important. But on a perspective as a whole, do you know how your marketing is performing? Simply take the number of sales or new clients that you attract in any given time frame. For me, I look at this approximately every 90 days, so I get a sense of each quarter, which sort of aligns with the seasons and seems to give me or at least in my thoughts, is a different view of the business. And divide your marketing costs or marketing dollars spent by the number of new customers to get a general idea of your cost of customer acquisition. You can now at least use that as a metric to test some new marketing mediums in terms of if you spend so much money, you should have an idea of how many customers that should produce. And if it doesn't produce that much, or if it produces more, you can begin to evaluate why and determine whether it was greatly effective or not that effective. Hopefully this information on marketing systems has been valuable. For more information like this, check out my blog at profitablepersonaltrainer.com. Remember, I'm always here to help.